With the CFO's command of the numbers and grasp of the value chain, he or she will become, almost by default, the advisor of last resort for the CEO and ultimately the board. One of the most daunting tasks facing you is to find a way to redo the budget frequently, perhaps as often as monthly, so that it reflects reality and enables you and your colleagues to move a portion of your resources to fund the emerging configuration. Budgeting is all about allocating resources, and those resources will be allocated differently in a severe contraction from the way they are in normal times. Capital expenditures will have to come under laser-sharp scrutiny. It's no longer sufficient to simply measure returns on investment. Projects that have an earlier cash return, even though the ROI is lower than that of some other projects, will get higher priority. Most management people understand the basics of profit or loss. Far fewer understand key items of the balance sheet, such as accounts receivable and inventories. Even fewer are familiar with capital expenditures and returns on those expenditures. This is a time when the CFO and the finance staff need to educate managers in the intricacies of the balance sheet by using the company's real numbers and showing what can happen in the future under different scenarios. If you head operations in a manufacturing company, your number one task is to lower your cash break-even point ahead of falling revenues. Decide now how you'll cut capacity and be prepared to act fast. As you make changes, let others help you consider the impact of those changes on the entire system. Be merciless in weeding out product lines and their myriad versions and extensions that create unnecessary complexity. You need fewer and better products, and you need to have the best product people possible thinking about making things better, faster, and more efficiently. Simplifying your operations should include a review to determine what might be outsourced. You can focus your mind on this if you consider what differentiates you from your competitors. Those things are valuable and should be kept in-house. Inventories are a huge cash trap. Now you'll have to be more cognizant of the financial implications of inventories of both raw materials and finished products. The job of managing your manufacturing and sourcing footprint, supplies, inventories, and shipments has become increasingly critical and more important than ever. Supply chain management has a tremendous impact on cash flow and customer service, and under stressful conditions, flawless execution in this arena can give you a major competitive advantage. There's much you can do right away to tighten the links between suppliers, your own company's operations, and your customers to allow you all to react faster to changes in the external environment. One of your main goals is to minimize the cash used in inventories, both incoming and outgoing. You can best accomplish that through cross-functional communication to synchronize the purchase of raw materials, their delivery to where they're needed, and their shipment to customers. You need to make your suppliers more than just suppliers. They need to become collaborators in what is actually a partnership. In a partnership, information flows both ways, and the game becomes win-win. You need the same supplier-customer partnership with your customers. Establish a tight linkage using the same metrics between your customers' needs and what you need from your supplier. You won't be able to establish a partnership with every supplier or customer, and so it's important to determine which ones will be sustainable partners. Re-examine existing partnerships to determine whether they're the most effective and efficient under the new conditions, and whether the number of suppliers should be reduced. How should the supply chain change to make the company stronger when the downturn ends? You need a handle on which customers and suppliers will survive and where. The more people appreciate the importance of their roles in getting your company through the storm and emerging stronger on the other side, the better they'll do their jobs. Among the many important behaviors and traits that characterize a good leader, the 6 most essential for managing in this downturn of downturns are honesty and credibility. This is no simple challenge. Nobody can be certain about the business environment and its direction. How can you tell people what you believe when you can't be confident that it's right? You can't fake it or bluff. Anybody can test your ideas by Googling.